to both players, and into the grand finals we go. TIKI getting that early game fractal, and Run just receiving it. Still going into this, Run is in the deficit, but in a relatively good spot. And so does TIKI, in building really high amount of back-to-back pressure. And Run trying to catch up to those back-to-backs, having to break their surge early. And the surge cancelled each other. TIKI trying to down stack out of all this cheese, and Run finding a PC into an all clear there. Wait, no. Finding a PC into fractal there. So still wasn't quite enough pressure. Top out TIKI, not yet. TIKI finding all this all spin solutions, trying to keep up. Now neither player have surge. Neither player have pressure just yet, but TIKI is slowly building into it. Now TIKI building up the donation into another T-spin. That was a TSS into an SZ spin afterwards. Now building more of the surge. Getting all this SZ spin into... It's basically just all spin on TIKI's side here. The deficit, sending Run all the way to the moon. TIKI misdropping the Z piece, but finding an all spin solution to clear it to a Z piece donation instead. Still Run with this early pressure. And TIKI breaking their surge early, trying to make sure Run broke theirs as well. And Run caught up in this precarious situation, trying to find a way out. They did find a way out, even sending a few TSD along their way. Now TIKI misdropping a few pieces really high up on their board. Fortunately losing that round, back 1-1. So Run building this LST, and TIKI just receiving some of it. Getting that quad into the garbage. And getting that Z-spin. Opening their well into an overhangless Z-spin. Still Run trying to keep up. Trying to make sure TIKI break their back-to-back. And as they break it, now Run is in a slightly tight situation. Trying to find the pressure afterward. Now in a really good position to counter, to pressure there. TIKI pushed all the way up, finding a clutch clear, but unfortunately topping out afterward. It was too much pressure from Run there. And building up after that stick spin bag or stick spin residue, but unfortunately TIKI just stopping there, knowing there's no way out of those misdrop. Bagging another round. Now Run is the one misdropping so early, but it's relatively safe still. So finding a way out was not a problem for them. Misdropping another piece. Now Tiki's just slowly building their back-to-back. And Rud is just going fast, blazing fast here, trying to build up a counter back-to-back of their own, but unfortunately having to clean up a few cheese along their way. Trying to find a way into their well here, Run side. Unfortunately, Tiki's back-to-back was just nothing short of a whole board attack there. 20 plus lines. Run misdropping their stick spin. Now Tiki just building up their back-to-back. Slowly reaching up into another whole board back-to-back here on Tiki's side. And Run's just preparing for the inevitable. Trying to make sure they have a cancel ready. Unfortunately, Tiki misdropping their piece. Breaking it. That's a really tight spot. Triple clutch, but it does nothing. Fortunately, misdropping their piece really high up there. Tiki still just going with this all spin vision. Trying to make sure they're not losing up on this pressure. But Run is trying to build up on their own pressure as well. Going on that 9-0 build, but Tiki sending that damage out. Run, despite finding some survival, fortunately it was too much from Tiki's side. Tiki's gradually moving into this over 1 APP playstyle. It's terrifying. Run was dropping their piece, but still finding a way out. A double quad there, but Tiki is unfazed, building up this fractal. Not taking that fractal, but rather taking a few all spin in, trying to sneak in a bit more back-to-backs. And Run trying to force Tiki to break, unable to do so. And as they said that they managed to do so. And Run is now the one with the pressure. Slowly building their back-to-backs here on Run's side. Not just that. Sending 20 spikes on their own on Run's side, but now being the one pushed up. With Tiki having a cancel and a way out there. Currently, it's the other way around once more. The board shifted so quickly there. Fortunately, Tiki couldn't spin that Z in. And Run still holding the lead. Tiki now is just building that TST donation. And getting that, I think, J-spin quad. And building more on their back-to-back. I'm gonna be seeing another explosive attack from Tiki here. And there it goes. Sending Run all the way up to their board. He's just going for this one shot, one kill. Back to back here. That's basically out back to backing Run. And that's their win con. Pretty much it. Otherwise they're getting pressured just like this. And Run building that fractal on top of their garbage. Building quad on top of their garbage. Timing it. And nearly catching Tiki off guard, but Tiki was prepared. Well, not for the nearly getting ruined there by Run, but still, Tiki's fast, bursting up, trying to break through all their garbage, making sure they survive this. Now Tiki's the one with the pressure. Still, Tiki slowed down there, trying to find an optimal way out. Fortunately, it wasn't enough. Run doing an early ice skim there. And just Tiki just sending this fractal. Building up from that. Trying to do the 180, but unfortunately too slow there, having to break their surge. Now Runs holding the pressure once more. All the way out. Sneaking in a few spins and then breaking it almost immediately, but unfortunately Tiki, even despite having that ice spin in, wasn't enough. Wasn't ice spin into TSS. Wasn't enough to cancel the damage coming from Run there. Run building the stick spin. And Tiki is just going fast on this 6-3. Finding an all spin way out, going into their garbage. Now getting that 9-0 well, breaking their surge into a quad there. He has been relying on this high amount of back-to-back win condition for a lot of rounds now, and Run building up this 2-7 stack really fast and timing some of their attack as well, trying to top out Tiki, but still Tiki finds survival, and now Run is the one being pushed up, but alas, still getting that TSD, finally breaking their back-to-back. Now Tiki was the one that got caught with that high amount of back-to-backs surge. Run still maintaining this 3-point lead. Wanting to let go of this. Just going really fast here on Run's side. Trying to make sure they're not losing out in terms of back-to-back, but having to break that early and miss dropping the IPs. Fortunately, even without the surge break, it was enough for Tiki there to break, to get that round. Tiki finding all those spins after the double TSD, but the pressure afterwards was even greater. And yet it still wasn't enough to push Run up to their board. It's really shaky for Run here, but they still find a way out. Now Tiki having nothing on their board, just trying to build up this surge, but fortunately colded. Now Tiki is the one on the back-to-back deficit. Slowly but surely. Oh, fortunately Run broke it early there. Perhaps pressured by Tiki, but still, Run still hold the reign on this round. And as I say that, Run fortunately overstacking on their board there. Tiki getting closer to tying their points together. Tiki finding that stuck spin in. Just canceling cheese with cheese there, and both sides slowly building their back-to-back. Tiki's trying to keep up, but almost got caught off guard there by Run. Now Run coming back with another surge, and so does Tiki. Hitting that overhangless S-spin in. And Run just holding well with their own all-spin vision as well, but having to break early into downstack there. Unfortunately, it was enough to top out Tiki in that round. Run back with this stick spin. Finding the double quad there, nearly catching Tiki off guard. Tiki coming back with this, with all this all spin into surge break, but Run finds a survival. Tiki is still holding this pressure, speeding up all the way to 4 PPS, but unfortunately misdropping their pieces there, having to break their surge. Despite finding a way out, no, they lost all their momentum, misdropping that I piece as well. And Rud, even despite all that pressure from Tiki, is still unfazed, now sending the pressure. Holding the reign to this battle, but Tiki building up this back-to-backs really quickly. Not only that, was able to cancel runs back-to-back as well. But Rud coming back with another back-to-back. He's just preparing, managing to cancel that back-to-backs. Now run all the way down to their bottom of their board here. And so does Tiki. Back to a neutral position. But Run is in a slightly awkward stack. And Tiki finding that all clear. But getting countered just right after that. Still finding the post pressure afterwards. Run getting caught off guard really quickly there. 8 to 9. Tiki's slowly getting all the way up there. Aiming for this bracket reset. But Run getting this garbage RNG, and so does Tiki. And Tiki, having the better residue, managed to push up Run just in time. Now it's tied neck and neck. 9 to 9. Tiki timing their attack there, trying to find a follow-up all spin, but fortunately slightly pushed up here, having to break their surge really high up on their board, but still finding a way down, sneaking a few spins in, but Run unfortunately didn't have the pressure there. Now Tiki is in a relatively safe position, managing to get overhang this Z now into a few all spin down at the bottom of their board on Tiki's side. And Run's just trying to force Tiki into breaking, and break it they did. But Tiki followed up by a really high amount of downstack pressure right after. Match point for Tiki. Really going for this bracket reset. So Run's going all the way up to 4.5 PPS here. Oh, was so close for Run there, but unfortunately it wasn't enough pressure from Tiki. Now Tiki being pushed up, trying to sneak a few spins in for a quick defense. Now all the way back down their board. But as they say that they were pushed high up. Run still not giving this up. We're both at tiebreaker. Tiki's timing their garbage. Oh, unfortunately misdropping that eyepiece on Tiki's side. And that's gonna do it. Run got the grand finals and got